Let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's a part of you that sabotages your life, and it's so sneaky it masquerades as your biggest cheerleader. The problem is, you probably haven't recognized it yet. You might call it your conscience, your guiding light, or maybe you just think of it as yourself. But I'm here to break some news. That incessant need to be right, to be admired, or to be seen is not you. It's your ego. And today we're going to show you how to silence it. No more games, no more excuses. This is about taking back control of your life. Ready to face the music? Let's dig in. When it comes to understanding the human condition, few stories cut deeper than the tale of David and Goliath. On one side, we've got David, young, underestimated, and armed with nothing but a sling and some stones. And then there's Goliath, a towering giant, seemingly invincible and oozing with arrogance. Now, let's fast forward to today. We're still dealing with giants, except this time they might not be as obvious. They're lurking in plain sight, disguised as everyday challenges. Whether it's a tough conversation at work, asking for a raise, or even making a simple decision, these everyday giants can feel just as daunting as facing off against a physical opponent. But what if we had a secret weapon? Something that could help us level up and conquer these mental giants with ease? Enter the wisdom of Ryan Holiday in his book, Ego is the Enemy. It's not just a read, it's a game changer. In this video, we're breaking down 3 of the most eye-opening lessons from Ego is the Enemy and showing you how they can be applied to those everyday situations. So brace yourself, because we're about to uncover some truths that will shift the way you approach challenges and help you emerge victorious in every arena of your life. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now, let's get back to the video. Most people assume their biggest obstacles are outside of them. Sure, there's traffic and taxes and sometimes terrible people. But the real trouble, according to Ryan Holiday's Ego is the Enemy, starts in your head. The ego manifests in different ways depending on where you are in life. In the beginning, when you're just getting started, ego whispers to you that you already know enough. It tells you that there's no need to listen to feedback or advice. You've heard it before, right? That voice that says, "I'm too cool for school," or "Who do they think they are?" That's your ego telling you to stay small, to play it safe. But here's the catch. Playing it safe means missing out on growth. By letting your ego dictate your actions early on, you're essentially setting the stage for future struggles. Imagine building a house on shifting sand. That's what your early success is like with an unchecked ego. It may seem solid at first, but eventually it crumbles. As you move through the first stage of your journey, you start to see hints of success. Maybe you landed that first big client or received praise for a job well done. These moments are like stepping stones, but the ego twists them into milestones. It whispers that you've arrived, that you're already the best, and that you shouldn't waste time learning from others. Remember, this is ego's trick to keep you stuck, to prevent you from advancing. Ego wants you to bask in the illusion of success while staying stagnant. Here's the challenge. Recognizing that these early wins are just that, early wins. They're not the finish line. The moment you let your ego convince you otherwise, you've lost your direction. It's crucial to stay grounded, to remember that every success is a stepping stone towards something greater. Now, picture this. You've climbed the ladder of success. You're basking in the glow of achievement. People recognize you, respect you. It seems like you've reached the top. But guess what? According to Ryan Holiday, you're only halfway through the first level. Why? Because the ego at this stage has transformed into a roaring beast. It screams at you, convincing you that you're invincible, that you're better than everyone else, and that rules apply to others, not to you. This is a dangerous place to be. You might find yourself making reckless decisions, burning bridges, or alienating those closest to you. All because the ego has blinded you with the illusion of invincibility. But here's the sobering truth. No matter how high you climb, how much you accomplish, or how much praise you receive, The ego will always try to convince you that you're more than you really are. It'll twist your successes into proof of your superiority, making it harder to learn from setbacks or accept feedback. You might start to think that everyone else is just trying to tear you down. But here's the wake-up call. The real enemy isn't external. It's that inflated sense of self-importance whispering sweet lies in your ear. When you let this ego-driven arrogance take over, you lose your empathy, your perspective, and ultimately your humanity. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff. You're surrounded by the cheers of a crowd, convinced that you're on the verge of greatness. But, unbeknownst to you, the ground beneath you is crumbling. That's what ego does. It creates a false sense of security while you're on the brink of a disaster of your own making. The third stage is when things start to unravel. You experience a setback, a failure, or a scandal, and that's when the ego takes its most sinister turn. It screams loudly, making you feel like a victim of circumstance. Ego convinces you that you're cursed, that everyone is against you, and that you'll never succeed. The question is, what do you do when you've fallen from grace? How do you deal with the taunts of the critics and the whispers of doubt? Well, according to Ryan Holiday, this is the ultimate test of character. When faced with adversity, most people blame external factors. They point fingers, make excuses, and become consumed with proving their victimhood. But here's the harsh truth. Those external circumstances are just the tip of the iceberg. The real problem lies within you. It's in the ego that refuses to accept responsibility, that won't learn from the past, and that feeds on your failures rather than growing from them. Think about it. When you focus solely on the external, you lose sight of your internal power. You forget that you always have the choice to respond, to adapt, and to grow. On the other hand, when you turn inward and confront your ego, that's when you find the strength to bounce back. That's where true resilience is born. It's not about denying the existence of external obstacles. It's about acknowledging them, adapting to them, and ultimately rising above them. So, what's the takeaway? Whether you're just starting out, experiencing success, or facing setbacks, remember this. The ego manifests differently at each stage, but the goal remains the same, to keep you from reaching your full potential. By understanding these patterns, you can stay vigilant and prevent ego from holding you back. To wrap this up, let's tackle the big question. How do you put this knowledge into action? How do you tame your inner ego monster? Well, let's break it down into some actionable steps. First off, embrace humility. It's not about putting yourself down, but about putting your ego in check. Remember, you don't know everything. No one does. Stay curious, keep learning, and be open to feedback. By cultivating humility, you'll be able to see your strengths and weaknesses more clearly. You'll be better equipped to handle both success and failure. Second, focus on your mission, not the spotlight. Are you driven by the desire to create, to contribute, to make a difference? Or are you in it for the fame, for the applause? If your primary motivation is external validation, then you're feeding your ego. Instead, shift your focus to the intrinsic rewards. Find joy in the process of creating, in the act of learning, and in the positive impact you can make without the need for recognition. Third, carve out space for inner stillness. It's easy to get swept up in the external noise, but it's crucial to have moments of quiet reflection. Through meditation, journaling, long walks, or any practice that helps you tune inward, you'll start to notice your thoughts without judgment. You'll be able to observe your ego's whispers and choose which ones to listen to. And fourth, remember, you're not your image. You're not your social media accounts. You're not your follower count. You are your actions, your values, your character. Live in accordance with your principles. Be the kind of person you would admire. And when you do this consistently, your reputation will follow suit. In the end, silencing the ego is a continuous process. It's about making small, intentional choices every day that bring you closer to your true self. Every time you choose humility over arrogance, focus over fame, introspection over mindless scrolling, you're chipping away at the ego's hold on your life. If this video resonates with you, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you have a friend who's on a similar journey, share this video with them. Together, you can support each other in silencing the ego and embracing authenticity. Thanks for tuning in. Keep walking your path of self-discovery and stay tuned for more insightful videos.